I am the lead director at Black Butterfly Group Services. Myself and Joe, my husband, actually founded Black Butterfly Group, along with my sister as well, Janice. We did start off as a bit of a family collective, which is so typical of Pasifika families. Like, when we're good, we can work really well together. We established Black Butterfly Group in the community back in 2019. We had a vision for our community to step out and just to begin gathering people. We deeply value the power of stories, so we just sort of wanted to gather people and bring their stories, begin a dialogue to talanoa. We stepped out in a local barbershop. Also, shout out to Specific Cuts, another brown, excellent Pasifika business. And yeah, I think maybe the first one, we got maybe 5 people. It was just about starting to connect with people. Our passion is to work in mental health with our Pasifika communities, but not just mental health, having that holistic support for our Pasifika communities. So looking at people's emotional well-being, just acknowledging that, especially as Pasifika people, like, we're spiritual people, checking in on people, not being afraid to have conversations about, our faith or our spiritual walk, acknowledging that some people actually have had a hard time in their childhood, and sometimes that even included church. Thankfully, today we've been able to grow Black Butterfly Group into an actual professional service where we take our Pacific way of being and working with people and actually work with other cultures. I think that's one of our strengths as Pasifika people, is we've got all these wonderful gifts that we can actually transfer. We're very adaptable. Our gifts are very flexible as well, and I think a lot of us know that we're really good at connecting with people, and I think that comes from our family values. We just know how to be with people. We're very inclusive as well. I believe as people from other cultures have been really drawn to Black Butterfly Group. Not only do we provide one-to-one mentoring and support, we've continued with our vision for communities. Our vision is to see courageous communities flourish through connection. And so those little talanoas in the barbershop has evolved into 3 main community events that we provide to the community free of charge. We have a vision for women called Her Hope. We have a vision for men called Hope Warrior. And just last week, we delivered a community event called Yellow Hope Walk, which, aims to bring families, youth and children together to raise awareness around suicide, to eliminate the shame and the stigma associated with suicide, and say that united we are going to end suicide. The rates of suicide in our communities, Pasifika communities, suicide is the 4th leading cause of death in youth between 15 and 29. Each of us has a responsibility to ensure that our children are aware. But for those who know us, they know us mainly because of our message of hope. Our time spent in the community, we were able to, really listen to people, and that journey of 4 years just working in the community, hope kept showing up every single time in people's stories. Whether hope was a friend, whether hope was someone's animal, whether hope was just an experience. But our message is hope. We believe that hope is a superpower. We believe it's the only thing that can overcome the hopelessness of suicide, the risky behaviours in our youth, and so we just drive hope. We like to think of ourselves as hope dealers, but we certainly carry hope for people. I was asked, what does culture mean to me? And I wasn't someone who was raised strictly in our Pasifika culture. I was raised in the heart of South Auckland, Manele. So it can look different for everyone. Sometimes, culture can get in the way of connecting with others, so I'm very careful about what culture means to me, and especially in Black Butterfly Group. But without a doubt, culture is a protective factor for our people and for our youth. It goes without saying, we've got a lot of work to do around the identity of our children, and this is where culture is very important. Teaching them the language, allowing them to actually understand where they're from, who they are, becomes a protective factor. Just like having a job is a protective factor, just like having both your parents in the home is a protective factor. Knowing who they are adds to that as well, and I believe that it's important for our children to have all resources available to them. And as people in the community, we need to make sure that we offer that to our children, especially for kids who have migrated with their parents for the second or third time. So I see culture as, our Pasifika culture, as a protective factor. It's also a point of difference. Black Butterfly Group is proud that we have 99% Pasifika staff. It makes me so proud when I hear from non-Pasifika people how wonderful our staff is. That just goes to show what I believe is that we have a very special gift, intrinsic gift as Pasifika people. So, I don't know, do you think that's enough?